Welcome back, YouTube. It's Jay Roebuck, and we have a Drake interview per se. So Drake sat down with Complex, not physically in person, but through an email exchange. And not only did Drake speak, but one of his managers, Matt Babel, did as well. And they discussed some of the news with Iceman. They gave their thoughts on how it's been and potentially hinted at where it's going. So I want to break down some of the highlights from the interview. We'll also review some fan theories that are surrounding episode 4. And I'll also, I'll pat myself on the back. I'll talk about some things that I was right about and also what I think is going to happen next. So make sure you check out the whole video. Go into the comments. Let me know what you think. Some people are very anxious for Iceman. Some people are saying he wasn't even dropping albums. I don't pay attention to the haters. Let's just focus on the facts and let's enjoy the music as it comes and let's enjoy the process and the rollout. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's get into it. So let's take a look at this first quote. Drake talks about the opportunity for a clean slate. So coming into this, part of his career, he just dropped the R&B album with Party Next Door, Some Sexy Songs for You. But after, the back and forth with Kendrick, he hasn't dropped a project that is just a rap album, which I think is what we're going to be getting with Iceman. So he says it's a new experience where he gets to message and he also gets to deliver music. So you can do two things at the same time. And he said he wanted to do something different rather than just do a single, then release a video, single, then a video, wait to see what hits and then do a video. That's the formula that everyone has done. That's the traditional route. So what he wanted to do here was push the boundaries and do something out of the ordinary. And that is the live streams with Iceman, which I've said all along has been one of the most original rollouts of all time. We have not seen anything quite like this in the history of rap music. And the next quote here, Drake says he's been dying to act and dying for a challenge. And I think that's exactly what you get when you have these live streams. Number one, they're a bit unpredictable. You can try to control as many circumstances as you want, but anything can happen. You have to be prepared. And that's improvisation. And that goes into the acting piece. You also have to remember Drake has made a number of appearances, one of them with the show The Office Movers, which is a Canadian sitcom. You should check out the clips. We all know Drake was in Degrassi and in, a bunch of other things. He's a great actor. So he got the chance to flex those skills, not only in these appearances he's making, but also in the live streams. He interacts with people. He has to show emotion because he doesn't do a lot of talking. So this was a chance for him to do something creative. He also talks about the genre as a whole. No one is rocking the boat. He says it's smooth waters, right? So now as he goes out, he wants to rock things and shake things up a bit. And what better way to do that than with a new project and a project that you roll out in a unique way that your other peers and contemporaries are not doing. The next two quotes are from Drake and Matt, and they talk about how difficult it is to pull these things off. When you're in another country, you don't have a lot of time to practice or rehearse. And then you have to, again, think about the unpredictable. Do you have a police escort? Is Drake just out here doing this on his own? Do you have security in place? Is someone just going to try to mess up the stream? This is very hard to do. And this is why when I talk about patience that people need to have in order for him to pull this off. When you're in Italy or when you're in the UK, you don't know the landscape as well as you do in America or as you do in Toronto, right? One of the first questions is there even Wi-Fi in the location we're going to? Because what happens if he's live and then the signal cuts? What do you do then? So people really don't understand the complexity that goes into this, the language barriers, the permits, the service, the entire camera crew, rehearsals. All of these things have to be studied before you can actually do this. Now, when it comes down to taking risks, I think Drake is one of one. When it comes down to experimenting with music, I think it's really Kanye West and Drake in the hip hop space. Drake has a dance album. Kanye West had Yeezus. These are albums that push the genre forward and really sideways into different directions and expands people's palettes. They aren't creating new waves of music. They're learning to incorporate different sounds, different beats, different patterns, different vocals into the music. And that's exactly what Drake is doing here. He says people often get stagnant and they don't want to experiment. They get comfortable. And one thing that you have to do to push any boundary is being comfortable with the uncomfortable, being ahead of the audience and ahead of the trend. How often do you hear people say this Drake album is whack in the first week, right? In Drake's songs. Years later, they come around and say it's a sleeper, right? He said that himself. Budden has said it himself. Budden poops all over the projects, and then a week later, he's like, nah, this is really good. So it takes time sometimes to realize what you're seeing. And everything great sometimes when you experience it in real time, you don't even understand what's going on or why it's important or why it's profound. But I think with a lot of Drake's music and with this rollout, as people begin to sit back and zoom out, they're going to understand why it's so important. My favorite part of the interview, the fan theories. Now, Drake says he's into the theories because it makes people interact with the content and try to get ahead of what he's trying to message. Now, I'm going to pat myself on the back here. I think there's two creators, including myself, who have done this. The biggest creator is obviously What's the Dirt. He's done breakdowns over the past year about Drake's lyrics, Drake's songs, and specifically the Iceman rollout. Now, if you go right under What's the Dirt in terms of breakdowns and in terms of overall analysis and coverage, I think that I'm the next channel up. So I strongly believe that Drake has seen the content, and everyone in the comments, you guys are a part of the community. So I'm sure that he's scrolled through and seen those things as well. So I think he also gets ideas from the creators in the ecosystem because we're seeing things from a different angle that he might not see as the artist. So I think he gets ideas from what we see. I think he says, okay, this is working. This isn't working. The people are getting this. The people aren't getting this. And I think that continues to help with the rollout. So, hey, maybe I'm crazy, but I think there's a strong case to believe that he has seen some of the content and maybe he's listening to it, laughing at it, or ignoring it. Hey, but at least it's out there. And finally, he says the finale will be our best work. So let's make some people eat their words. Oh, he scrapped Iceman, the album. He scrapped the rollout. You're wrong. He was taking his time, as I said he would. So we know that we are getting a fourth episode, and I believe the fourth episode will be the final episode. If you've watched my breakdown and my prediction for episode 4, find the video on my page. I'll also link it here. You can click right there and you can find it for yourself and see what I've had to say about it. Now, there are some fan theories out there. Licensed Drake and Driver has done an in-depth breakdown, and he believes that we are going to get episode 4 in Tokyo. I think he's also hinted at maybe something happening this week or next week. My personal belief, we're either going to get Toronto, Houston, or LA, and I think that will be the final episode. I think they want to control as many elements as possible, so that leads me to believe they're going to want it to be in a place where they can control things, where there's no language barrier, where they can rehearse, especially if this is going to be the grand finale. So I think in any of those 3 cities, they'll feel very comfortable with the landscape. In terms of time, episode 4, I think will likely happen before the new year. But the album, if we don't get it in like the next 2 weeks, I think we're definitely looking at January or February at the top of the year, Q1. I've also told people he is working on the album. Like, relax. He's been in the Bahamas. Many OVO members, some other artists have been in the Bahamas. They are obviously recording and finishing up the album. Drake records his best music in the Caribbean, whether it's Turks, whether it's the Bahamas. He's recording there and he's making a masterpiece. Point of concern here, I'm a little worried. He posted some photos with Sexy Red. That either means she's going to be on the album. Maybe this is a video they're doing. That concerns me. Shout out to Sexy Red. I don't want to hear that on this album. I know that's Drake's sister. He got crazy love for her. He's been on a bunch of, features with her, but I don't want to hear that. I know you guys might make a slap together, but I don't want to hear that. I want to hear Drake featuring Drake. But I think he's definitely going to have some features. Naomi Sharon has been out there. But sometimes you also just want to be around people's energy because that just helps push out the best product. So I don't think that I know she's going to be on an album. That's just what I'm assuming based on the photos. But there is a chance she's just there for the vibes. There's a chance she's there for the vibes, but I don't know. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of the interview? When do you think the album is coming? When do you think the episode is coming? And who do you think is going to be on the album? I've seen a lot of people out there, a lot of producers. Some rappers have been taking sneaky flights and they're posting photos and you got to put 2 and 2 together. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching the video. Until next time, I go by the name J Roebuck, and thank you for being here.